Hi, Homeworthy. I'm Kevie Murphy, and welcome to my home in Manhasset. Come on in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hello, my name is Kevie Murphy, and I am the principal designer at K.A. Murphy Interiors. We are now currently in Flower Hill, Manhasset at my home. So when we first started looking at homes, we were looking for space because we were coming from a 3-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn Heights, and I had 4 children. So we were certainly looking for space, and I found that as I started to look, I became less willing to settle. If I was going to move out of my beloved city, I was getting everything that I wanted. So I wanted the space, the property, the perfect setting for the kids, all of it. And that's sort of what led us to this house, because it wasn't redone, and taking it down to the studs and gutting it wasn't feeling bad because it hadn't been done in over 25 years. So it needed a refresh, and it was the perfect place for me to hone my skills. So we are in the foyer right now, and this actually set the entire design for the whole house. It's actually very formatted, very much so for the size of the home. Typically when you go in new construction, the foyers are gigantic, and this is actually what it should be. This was a must. This is the whole design of the home. This is Pierre Frey, and it is so fun, and I loved it from the moment I saw it, and I was like, this is going to be somewhere in my home. I'm not sure where yet, but I basically carried it around for a couple of years and kept it. We have this piece of furniture from a company that no longer is in existence. It's called Grange, and I loved the peacock blue actually matched with the wallpaper so well. And behind us, you can see the door also takes on that same color to match the wallpaper as well. The light fixture in the stairwell was a little hard to source because it had it to be narrow, because it's a tiny space in there. This is from Visual Comfort, it's Ralph Lauren, and the other lighting in here is also from Visual Comfort. I really love a black and white tile, and I think this is super classic. A lot of times you'll see the black and white tile that doesn't have the veining in the black. This is Nero Marquina and Statuary White Extra. I love the shininess to it because I thought that was fun, and then to sort of lend a little bit of the black shiny, we decided to paint the stairs black and also the handrail of the original banister black too, to sort of tie in with the floor. I also chose the black and white floor because I felt like it was classic and it didn't really contrast with the colorful, crazy wallpaper that I love so much. So I felt like it was a perfect match. Also, another fun fact is my best friend loves to travel. She went to Egypt and we came up with a budget. And she brought me back all these fun Egyptian artifacts that she had collected during her trip. And they're one-of-a-kind unique pieces, and I love them. So when you walk into the house, the dining room is on your right here, and the formal living room is on your left. And you can see, and we'll walk through them, that the tones in those rooms are much more neutral because I wanted people to really relish this burst of color when they came into the home and not be too overstimulated. So they're definitely more of a neutral palette in there. Come on into the dining room. So this is the formal dining room. I always wanted to have Gracie wallpaper. When I went to design school, I found it amazing. And we worked on this with Jennifer Gracie. The company's amazing. I love that it's a chinoiserie wallpaper, but it's based in New York, so that's super fun. And it has a lacquer coating so that little people can touch it and it doesn't get ruined. It's hand painted, just like it was back when they first started the company. And it's an interesting paper because it comes showing the designer the CAD of what the room is going to look like so that you can approve the design, tweak the color, whatever you want to do. And it's made to fit the room perfectly. This is much more neutral, but still has a lot going on. I love the white chairs with the dark table. I think that gives it a nice juxtaposition. I love the draperies. They are color blocked with 2 different types of silk. The workroom designer draperies of Boston made them for me and came up with how we should design them based on the colors in the room. The hardware was faux painted to match the wallpaper background of the pewter. And then also the light fixtures in here from Neiman Weeks, they're made in Maryland. And they also have a similar patina on them so that they sort of match that pewter color. And this is custom. The same with the chandelier, which coordinates directly with the sconces, has that same patina on it. And they sized it so it fit in this room perfectly. We have let the kids come in more and more. And as they come in more and more, I've noticed a few more memories on the table and on the chairs and on the rug. But we have main holidays in here because the table expands to fit 12 people. So that's really cool. And then we have all of our china and our serviceware within this cabinet, which I also love very much. So this is a cabinet by Shamsian. Beth Ann Gray is the one that's the designer for it. And it's really cool. They have the drawers in here that hold the cutlery. And we had it specially designed. I made it a little bit higher because I wanted it higher than the table to be like a server. And then I made it be able to carry the stone top because I really thought bringing the onyx in here would be really beautiful with the pewter background of the wallpaper. The table is from a company called Alfonso Marina, and I love it because they customize, and we wanted a table that fit the room but would also fit the amount of people we wanted. The chairs are also by Alfonso Marina, and it has a metallic leather by Edelman, which is really pretty. And you know, leather does a really good job with wear and tear. So it's great when you have 4 kids. These doors we picked, we thought they would be so pretty to have the dining room be able to be closed off. I like the mirror. I just feel like it makes everything look a little bit bigger. We have the accent cremone bolt, which you know, can lock into the top, but it's mostly for decoration, but it does move and slide up and down. And then also over here, these doors are kind of fun too. They're Harman hinge doors, so you can close out the entire space. So it can be by itself quiet. Usually I feel like we've been trending towards people not having the formal dining room, but this house is from such a time where they had the formal dining room, and it has enough rooms to have a non-formal place to eat too. I feel like a lot of times clients give up the formal dining room when they need more room. This house just has a lot of the rooms compartmentalized, so it makes sense to have it. I came from being an attorney. I've always wanted to be an attorney growing up. It was just something that I wanted to do. My dad was an attorney, and I went to work at the district attorney's office in Brooklyn, where I met my husband. And we got married, and then I decided to have a family and realized pretty quickly that I wanted to stay home with the kids, and being a trial attorney would probably be super difficult with being a mom. So stayed home with the kids, had all of them. When the last one was a year old, I thought maybe I should look into doing something. We had hired a decorator to work on our house out east, and she did a great job, and I did a lot of things with her, and I really enjoyed it. And I said to my husband, let me give this a go. I'm gonna maybe take a class at the New York School of Interior Design and see how that works out. So I learned very quickly there. And then what happened is he said, I think we need to move. We're like sort of expanding out of this place. And I was like, can you wait till I finish a few more like years of school before we move? Because I know I'm gonna be in charge of this. And he was like, we really should make the move. So when we bought the house with the understanding of gutting it, that was my first project. I did the whole thing by myself. It had 3 different types of heating, antiquated plumbing and electric. It had plaster walls, not sheetrock. It needed everything redone. And it was a great space to work within. The house was huge. And it was awesome to be in charge of the project and pick everything, and I'm the only one making the decision, so it was great. We're gonna transition into the kitchen. And you'll see that we have a little bit of the Pierre Frey theme still. Come on over here. We have a chartreuse glass and marble backsplash, which is coming from the green that's in the leaves of the wallpaper that I showed you guys in the foyer. And then it also translates over here to our flavor paper, Brooklyn Toile custom wallpaper, made with a custom color from Benjamin Moore, which is the green from the wallpaper. And if you focus on the wallpaper, it's all scenes from Brooklyn. At first blush, it looks like a regular toile, but when you get close, you'll see the Brooklyn Bridge, Coney Island, the Hasidic Jewish person. You'll see moms with strollers. You'll see Notorious B.I.G. It's got some really cool Brooklyn flavor to it. And we like that because we moved to Manhasset from Brooklyn. And then this is the part of the house that everyone loves to see when it's not crowded and full of everything. It's our mudroom. So I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek. Like I said, I have 4 kids. This is our mudroom, and they come in and ideally put their stuff here. Ideally being the operative term. We've been getting a lot of requests for people wanting to have like locker doors so that they don't have to look ugly when everything's packed in. And it actually makes sense. It's more of like a cabinet. I love a white kitchen. And before we moved to Manhasset, we had a white kitchen in Brooklyn, and we have a white kitchen in our beach house in Asheroken. So I thought, let me try something else. And I really liked the gray. And the painter came up with some colors. We tested them out, and she stained the cabinets on site, and we picked this washed out gray, which I love. These are Calicotta countertops, honed. What wound up happening is, just so you guys know, this is a great tip. They had an issue with the slab, so it was shorter than the island. So what we had to do was a double stack of the marble. So that's what we did in order to make it hang over the requisite amount, which is usually like anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And, you know, it wound up looking perfect, even though there was a little bit of a mistake. The lighting fixtures are from a company called Remains. They're awesome. You can customize the color. They have so many different finishes. I really just loved these. These were one of those things that I had been searching for in design school, loved them, and then kept them in my book of things that I'd like to do when I got my own home. So they made their way here. These are matching sconces. One of the lights is out. And these also match, just different sizes. This is so fun. So this is what they call a gantry faucet. It's like what you would have in a restaurant. It pulls down and you could shower off everything. And what's nice about it is it's super functional, and it's like such a cool piece to see. I love it. We use this particular product. It's from Waterstone. They're a company made out in California. And the people that own the company are architects. So it's a really cool piece of plumbing, and it's decorative. The kitchen's not wide enough to have an island where you can have seating. So we created this little space over here where you could sit off to the side. And also, interestingly, we took the backsplash that's the same as behind this range, and we made it all in the same color marble so that it wasn't too overwhelming, but we put it on all the sheetrocked spaces in the kitchen area. We have a cute little pop of the peacock blue in here when you close the Harmon hinge doors. And then we picked a fun wallpaper that had the peacock blue in it too, to put on the rest of the wall so that there was no sheetrock. And then we chose the floor, which has gotten a little scratched up since we got a puppy, because I thought this was so fun. It's also a painted black chevron floor, and I thought this was like a super fun color way to come off of the foyer, but to have in here with the gray cabinetry. I think it looks so good, and the juxtaposition of the dark with the light looks so good. This is one of my favorite pieces in the house. This is a freestanding cabinet that we had built. This was slated to be a butler's pantry when we originally made the design, but we decided to change the bar area and put it into this garden room over here. But I love the icebox hinge hardware, super fun, and like it makes it just such a statement piece. We get asked about it all the time, and I love it. So this is the breakfast room where we all pretty much eat most of the time. Again, if you take a look at the fabric that's on the window treatments, that is the fabric of the wallpaper. So the exact pattern, but now we have it on a fabric in here. We again have the peacock blue theme. Interestingly enough, we have this like fun, oversized crystal light fixture from Visual Comfort with the more modern Plattner table and the Eames molded plastic chairs, which are perfect for a family with children because you can wipe them off. I'm often asked about what my style is, and I will say the longer I've been a designer, the more I've sort of picked up more styles and trends that I actually really like. I don't know that we necessarily have a style. What we have is a clientele, and the clientele gives us their vision and we execute it. So the idea is that when you look at our work, it all looks different because each client is different. And I would never want somebody to pay for something that someone else had. We're a high-end luxury interior design firm, and the intellectual property that we do for you is yours. We're not gonna then manufacture and keep doing that across the board for everybody else, because that's not what you're paying for. So if you ask me personally what my style is, I love what you would call eclectic because I like mixing so many different things in a room without having it be like all modern or all traditional. I like mixing all different things because I think that shows off certain aspects of the design better. This room in here is really our family room. We call it the conservatory, but it's really our family room. We gather and watch television in here all the time. And this is the primary area, I want to say like this room, the breakfast room and kitchen, where people generally hang out. When we have company, this is typically where we are. If we have a lot of company, they'll spill over into the formal dining room and the parlor. But for the most part, people are in these spaces. And this room is interesting if you come in because it fits so many people, it doesn't look like it does, but we have 2 chairs here. We have the divan where you can face either way. So people could sit on this side and be involved in this conversation. And then you have people that could sit on this side and be involved in this conversation. And over here, we just have a center table with 4 ottomans that pull out as stools. We have a cute little bench here and 2 more chairs. So in theory, with all of the seating, it fits like 22 people. It's a lot. And you wouldn't think that because it doesn't look cluttered or like it can fit that much, but it does. And then what's awesome is you could also open up the doors here, if I'm not locked in, and you're in the backyard. So that's like a really nice feature too. I wanted an indoor-outdoor flow, for sure. And I wanted the doors to swing out because you'll see when we look at the before photographs, all the doors were added in, but we also added in the fireplace, which is right over here. We added in the bar area. So this came into the room and started taking up the width. So what I wound up doing was putting a sofa against the French doors, which I'm totally fine with, and they swing out. So we have the French doors over here with the sofa in front of it so that we have the perfect depth. And then we also have over here the French doors, which actually lead to the outside where we use. So those are openable. They just have the sofa in front of it. And I think it's better to have the seating, in my opinion, and it works for our family. To just tell you like a little fun fact, I don't like televisions. I'm not saying I don't like what they deliver, I just don't like looking at them. And I feel like my husband would have stapled the television on this brand new fireplace and I would have been devastated. So we needed to find an alternative. And that's where the television lift comes in. Ceiling is interesting because it was made out of a CNC'd piece of 3-dimensional foam. So when they put the ceiling up, it was green foam, hard foam. And then when the painter was doing it, I said to her, make it look like plaster. So don't make it perfect. Just take like the plaster and make it look swirly. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a paint on the ceiling that has a little bit of a sheen to it so that it grasps all the imperfections and shows it off better. And she was recently over doing some touch-up work and she said to me, you know, this has really grown on me because everybody thought I was crazy. But I was like, this is just so different. Why does it have to be the same as what everybody else has? And I love it. I think it's fun. It's going to stink when you don't want this anymore because you're going to have to sand it all down, but hopefully that's not my problem. So these fixtures are from Restoration Hardware, and I love that they're wrought iron and they have like the fun crystal in them. And they had to be a certain height because this particular room went from that height over here is what the actual height of the room is. But the center and the end part actually are higher, 10 feet. And in order to make it symmetrical, what we did was we dropped down this part so that it kind of looked like this. And it gives the room a nicer look. I thought that going from low to high to the end just would look weird and not thoughtful. So these light fixtures are kind of fun because they have the black, which kind of resonates with the windows and the door outline of black. And then these center fixtures here, this center fixture here, is from Neiman Weeks, and it's got, again, a relation with the crystal. It's kind of it's not very fancy, it's more rustic, and great company because they'll customize any size and finish. So that was perfect for in here. And I feel like the other fun part about here is we try to use all manual canvas fabrics on the upholstery pieces because we really like manual canvas. It's a designer that is represented by Cowton and Tout. And like, I love all the florals. I love that there's like the two-tone. So this has a different outback than the inside of it. And this is kind of a fun thing you see from the outside. This also has a different back than the inside, which is more of a plain blue. Just to be fun. And we did it in the blues. Same with this, is like a floral. It has like a fun floral embroidery fabric on it. So we thought that was fun to do a room that was just manual canvas. The pops of color in the pillows are actually a relation back to the wallpaper again. So we have the fuchsia, we have the orange, we have the chartreuse over here. So it's just reminding everybody of where we're coming from. And then this pillow on the bench over here has a combination of all the colors that is in the wallpaper. So the floor, we did a bluestone, which is what we have outside in the backyard as well. It has radiant heat and it warms up so quickly because this has a lot of glass. So there tends to make it a little bit more colder than other parts of the house because of the glass exposure. But the floor we love, it's so rustic. And also the radiant heat really makes it cozy in here. One of the things I just want to point out is if you want to have different flooring, you absolutely should do that. It looks completely fine. I'm going to show you some areas in my house where we have it. This is a transition over here from the bluestone into the main flooring in the home, which is a chocolate brown, red oak. And then over here in the other entrance, we have it into the black lacquered floor. And if you come through quickly here, you'll see that we go back to the brown floor in the dining room. And then we hit the tile floor in the foyer. And the tile floor hits the brown floor on both sides, in the formal living room and in the dining room. And I think it looks perfectly fine. It gives the house, you chose different things for different areas of the house because it went with the design. And I have no problem with that. It looks perfect. When it comes to renovating, these are my tips. Everything should be the same age. So if you're gonna replace windows in some part of the house, you need to do it in the whole house because nobody wants to buy a house that has windows from 10 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So if you're gonna do a gut, I think you need to embark on everything that's part of the structure and foundation of the home, aging at the same time. So that means all of the systems new, all of the appliances new, the windows new, the hardware new, the doors new, whatever is going to be updated needs to be updated together. The other thing that I would say that I would splurge on is radiant heat, because it really does heat the best. It is expensive, but for instance, I have it in this room and I have it in the primary bathrooms, but I didn't put it in the foyer, which I feel like was a miss. And I didn't put it in the basement, which I definitely feel like was a miss because the basement is tile and it tends to be a little colder than the rest of the house anyway. And I felt like in hindsight, it would have been better to have that for the heating purposes. And then the typical real estate recommendations are the kitchen is the most expensive room in the house, but it's also the one that people spend the most time in. And that can help you sell your home. Same with the primary bathroom. It's another one of the most expensive rooms, but it can help sell your home. And I feel like really investing in those places is smart. Appliances, tile decisions, in those types of places can really get you a great return on your investment. So this is the formal living room. And this again is much more subdued. It's more monochromatic, wherein the colors are more of like a taupey, gray, beige, again, so that you're not overstimulated coming from the fun foyer. So in here, it's like much more about the textures as opposed to the color. The ceiling is really cool. It is applied plaster. It's an English style ceiling, Adams-esque. The fireplace is really cool. This is from Chesney's and it's a Louis XVI fireplace. And I just have always loved Chesney's and I wanted to have a Chesney's fireplace and now I do. We don't use this fireplace, but it works because I just feel like then everything in here would be black from the soot of the fireplace. So it's just for show. So above the fireplace, I have my kids' footprints and handprint from when they were born. My 4 kids, all of them. And a mirror that just like reflects back the fun chandelier. This is another controversial design point. People think that you should only have a chandelier over a table, but no one's going in the living room going under here. So I love this chandelier. I think it's such a showpiece. It looks like jewelry to me, and I love it in this spot. It's perfect to me. These are really fun tables. They're fun because they're like pieces of jewelry actually in here, and you could pick the background fabric and whatever type of design and the size of it. And I feel like they're so pretty. And they're like art, but a functional table. Also over here we have campaign style tables, which are really awesome. These are from Alfonso Marina with the Nero Marquina marble, which goes back to the foyer. And I love this Larson fabric because I feel like it mimics the campaign X's, and I really liked that. An antique chair is my first antique purchase. You can't sit on them because I don't think they support people from the 21st century. And they're really tiny. If you look at them, like the depth of the chair is so small. And I thought it would be super fun to put a fun cravat fabric on them because the fabric's a little bit more contemporary with the antique chair. One other thing in here again is that we're trying to bring in the colors from the wallpaper. So we have little pops of the jewel colors throughout. This like washed out peacock blue Fortuny pillow is really fun, speaking to the peacock blue in the foyer, and then just some little throws around that bring back in the color. Here's the parlor, which is super fun. I'm taking, again, a little bit of leeway from the paper, and I've decided if I'm gonna have a custom sofa that's built to fit into the window, it's gonna be pink and not beige. So, ergo, the pink Chesterfield. That's really cool because it curves to fit the window, because again, in this room, you don't really have the depth. It's not a really deep room to fit seating. So really gaining that space from the window and having the sofa go back into there and come back out, you really get a lot of seating in here. Also a fun fact is, if you look behind here, we put the fun Philip Jeffries glass cloth in the fuchsia so that it would be fun when you closed the Harman Hinge doors. Because you can totally close this off from the rest of the house. The mirrors I started collecting from various different places, Etsy, any place that eBay, and I painted some of them myself, and I thought it would be fun to decorate the walls with the mirrors. When the kids were little, they really loved it because they could come up and like see themselves in the mirrors. But I always thought this was just a fun way to use them. This is a fun room too because it's all made from Thibaut fabric, and the window treatment, they all come, they line up. It's just the Roman shade, and they come down, and they have this fun brush fringe from Samuel & Sons, and it's really just super fun. And again, totally relates back to the wallpaper. This is like the third living room. We can let our hair down a little bit and do something a little unorthodox. It doesn't need to be beige. And I was like, I love orange and I love pink, and it's in the wallpaper, and let me see where it goes, and I love it. It's just fun. This hides, guess what? The television, because we don't want to see it. So that's where the TV is. I love the light fixture because again, we don't have the tall ceilings. They're 8.5 feet. I love this fixture from Oli because I think it's oversized, which is perfect. And I just think it's fun, and it goes so well with the, the decoration in here. It's fun. This carpet in this room is broadloom, which means it's intended to be wall-to-wall carpet. Remember back in the day when we had wall-to-wall. But if you take the carpet and you have them serge it on site, what they can do is they can bump in and out of the space to make it look totally custom when it's really from the broadloom. And I feel like doing that little bump out really makes such a difference and makes it look so elevated. What's interesting is this is more of a kid's room. And I had a custom sofa made by JMP Upholstery, and it was a lot of money, but I get it reupholstered as opposed to throwing it out and buying a brand new one. And it's really can stand the test of time. Like, this is a piece of furniture that is just, it can handle a ton, and I spent a lot of money for it. So I just want to tell people that have children, just because you have kids doesn't mean you can't have nice things. In fact, some of the nice things hold up much better than the cheap things. So you'd be surprised that the investment in something like a custom sofa could actually pay off better than buying one every other year when they stain it. powder room, and we liked to give it a little bit of an Art Deco feel. It's super tiny because it was from the house, the original house, and it's perfect. We have the black Marquina, we have the water jetted tile from Nemo tile, and this is called Bardiglio, the gray. A nice Philip Jeffries, Schumacher, fun, like 1940s looking fabric with this Great Gatsby feel. And then we have a faux painted ceiling too, which is so fun. Tiny space with a big punch. So this is our home office, which I first started out as a designer in, and then I got an office in town. I loved the wallpaper. I thought it was so fun because it's like a deconstructed damask with gold flecks from the Designers Guild. I loved the silk for the window treatments. I thought it was beautiful. And then I love having a woven with a treatment over it. I think that always looks so elevated and so layered. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Herman Miller. They make a lot of office furniture. They do not like to do anything custom. So for Herman Miller to do a special leather on a chair, you have to send them a hide and pay for it. They test it, and then they tell you whether or not you can send them another hide to do the chair. So I took a chance, and my friend owns McCoy's Upholstery, and he mainly does upholstery for cars. And he took the demi-cow hide from Edelman, which is metallic gold, and reupholstered the whole chair for me. And it's been handling the wear and tear perfect. We have some artwork, we have some pictures. So this is called the Art Connection Studio, and what this does is it helps people that are adults that have handicaps, autism, Down syndrome, and what they do is they create art and then you buy it from them. So we commissioned them to create a bunch of art from us, and I feel like it's such a great cause. Half of the proceeds go back to the individual artist, and the other half goes back to the studio so that they could buy more art supplies. And what we did was we had it framed in town by Jay Packer to give it like a little bit of an oomph, and I think they're so cute for the bookcases. We have an old vintage typewriter that I got at High Point, just because I thought that was super fun. A bunch of books, little artifacts, shells from trips, the museum bees, which are so fun. There's a company that takes old frames and rehabs them into these little decorative items, and they're called the museum bees. Super cute. And artifacts. This I love. It's a beautiful like onyx piece from Verona Privé. These are the same vendor, Tommy Mitchell, who did the tables in the living room. And they're just like beautiful metallic flowers colored, and you choose the back and they're in a lucite frame. So these just have cute little vases from Middle Kingdom. So fun. And just a little console to have it not just be like ending without anything. Also a fun feature of the room is the carpet. This is a hair on hide carpet by Kyle Bunting, and it's really awesome. You can choose the colors. There's so many to pick from, the design, and specify exactly where in the carpet you want which color to be where. So versatile, definitely can handle wear and tear, and I just think it's a welcome addition to any room. It's like a piece of art on the floor. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up my favorite part, which is the gold ceiling, of course. So it's a gold leaf ceiling. It's not real gold leaf because my painter convinced me that only I would know the difference, meaning personally, because you would never be able to tell the difference. She's like, we don't really need gold. So we just put the gold leaf, and I just think it adds like such an elevation to the room. It's really fun. And then like a quick peek, not that I should be in here more than I am lately, but here's our gym. So if you're at work and you need a little outlet, you can come right in here and do a little stair mill, Peloton, running. Now I'm gonna take you into my kids' bedrooms. So this is my youngest, Grace, and she loved pink and wanted to have a pink room. So we designed it with her thoughts in mind. We made her a custom beanbag out of this fun Pierre Frey fabric. We took a dresser that was on sale at Worlds Away, and I had it sent to the painter, and I changed out the hardware, and I basically changed it to 3 different tones of pink to make it fun. And then we bought the matching nightstand, but did the same thing. Everything in my kids' rooms have glass tops, and I would recommend that because they will ruin every surface of every piece of furniture unless it has a glass top. So that's one of my tricks. I put the glass on it. It's not a guarantee that they won't ruin it, but it's kind of taking like a little bit of a defensive tact against it. This I got from the Resplendent Crow. I loved the fact that it was like this deep, deep plum pink, and I loved the fun hardware on it, and I just thought it was such a pretty piece. She sells lacquered pieces, and this was a little desk that we built into the space because it has the window. Fun wallpaper by Quadrille. So the window treatment is from Alex Conroy. So fun. She's an amazing small fabric house, and they'll customize and do everything. She's great. Took the bed from Land of Nod and painted it because they didn't offer this color. And then just worked with the workroom, complete window, and took all different Romo fabrics and mixed them in to get this like different color palette to bring in all the different pinks. I think it's so interesting because there's no one pink. I think the fact that there's so many different variations of the pink makes it so interesting. You don't usually see something like this. Everyone wants it to look uniform, but this has such a diverse color range that I think it makes it so fun. And this is so fun. I actually got this last year at the Kips Bay President's Dinner. Pookie was one of the sponsors, and they gave out their little cute lamps because they are battery operated table lamps. So cute. And they had these beautiful shades to pick from. And it worked out perfectly when we decided to do Grace's room. This is made by a company called Amico. Again, it's a chargeable light. I just think they're so cute. They come in so many fun colors, and their product line is really fun. We have a lot of Jellycats. When Alyssa and I went to Maison Objet, we got this macaroon for her because that was the Paris edition, but she's obsessed with Jellycats. And now this is my son's room. He's 13, his name is Finn, and he is a Giants Knicks fan. And we recently did his room over, and he said to me, I just want to have it like a gaming room. So super easy. His bed used to be on this wall. We moved it around here so we could have his little gaming desk. Nightstand was there. And then the new thing is refrigerators. Like, the kitchen is literally 5 seconds away, but we need a refrigerator. It's fine. And this is his room. This is all restoration hardware, metallic zinc furniture. We tried to do something a little different again. He's got the desk, which he doesn't need anymore because now he sits at the gaming desk. Everyone should have a basketball hoop on their closet door. And, it's just a little boyish. So Finn and Grace's, everyone's room just got an overhaul. So we moved in here in 2015 and everyone just got an overhaul. So his room had this. I changed the colors, but yes, I thought this could be a teen room and it could be a fun guest room, and it doesn't have to be a baby room. When they all moved here, they weren't babies. They were little, but they weren't like babies. Grace was the smallest. She was 2. So this nicely morphed into what he wanted. It wound up fitting by just turning the furniture. We also were intentional about making the window treatments a little bit boyish. So these are shutters so that it's not like a girl Roman shade. We wanted it to be a little bit more masculine. And I think it can absolutely grow with him. This is Catherine's room. She's 14. She wanted something very preppy, so that translates, I guess, in her age group to blue and gold. We did an overhaul. Her room used to be pink and chartreuse green, pink and lime green. So we have this really awesome grass cloth. So I feel like it's fun. It's not too juvenile. And then we have like a mix of all different fun patterns. John Robeshaw quilt. This is from Schumacher. And I just think it all works, all the different colored blues. This is so fun, the window seat. It's made of like an indoor-outdoor terry cloth because let's be real, she's getting it stained and ruining it all. So this is, we love Rebecca Atwood. These pillows are from Rebecca Atwood, and so is this fabric. They're awesome. She's a designer out of Brooklyn, does really cool things. She's a great artist. And the rug I like too because we're going to skip that stain over there. But for the most part, if it gets a little stained, it kind of blends in a little bit. Like I said, the kids are rough on all of their things. The bed is from Serena and Lily. And the chest that's over here is from Made Goods. And that's like a raffia, a navy blue raffia. When we did the renovation to the house, Katie lost a closet, so we could make you come through the hallway. So we did built-ins for her furniture and her closet. So this is my oldest daughter's room, Molly. She's 17, and we recently did hers over as well. And we have a fun quadrille wallpaper. I love the colors of like the aqua with the yellow pops. I just think that's so fun. And the periwinkle is also in there too, which is what this is. And I just think her room is really sweet. This is a John Robeshaw quilt also. This is a piece from Tebow. This piece and the nightstand are from Highland House. And they both have the glass tops to protect everything. Over here is her makeup area. And this is a custom desk. And we just picked the color to match what was going on in here. I really love the yellow and the aqua. The bed is custom. They'll make anything that you want. And I loved adding the little bit of the rattan in there. I thought it was really fun. So this is the entrance to the primary, I guess, suite is what they really had. The people had done the renovation before we bought the home, and they added this whole part of the house on. So downstairs where the office is, where the pink room is, that is an extension of the original home. So it ended with the living room. So that whole wing on the back is this second part up here. So you have the first part of it is our like living area. So it is a living room that we can sit in by ourselves. And what's interesting about this room is that, again, let me see if I can separate these. That's where the TV is, hidden, because we don't want to see it. I love the colors up here. I feel like it's really relaxing. It's like a very, very, very light, like lilac with the teal. And I just think it's fun. I love the carpet. I love everything about it. It's really relaxing and nice to be here. The bookcases are decorated with all different kinds of photos of the kids, candles, books, just different artifacts from different things. This is from Pam Jaccarino, and she was the editor-in-chief of Lux magazine, and she started doing paintings, and I love them from the minute that she had them on Instagram. And I purchased 2 of them. There's another one over here too. It's just so fun. So this is the dressing room. This used to be an indoor-outdoor room, so it was like almost like a weird like astroturfed room when we did the renovation. And we turned it into a dressing room. So the chandelier is made of resin. It's from Oli, and I just think it's like perfect in here. I love onyx, so we did an onyx top on top of here. And this is the little makeup vanity table, which we did the onyx top on also. It has, if you come on in, it has pocket doors that close. So these come out and they close off this room from the living area with a lock. I liked the mirrors because I felt like the room is not that big, and the mirrors give it that continuum effect where it just keeps going, and I like that. These I love. This is an artist called Stephen Wilson, and he designs embroidered pieces made from boxes of designers. That's one of his collections, and I just thought this was like perfect for the dressing room with all the different brands. What's like a fun feature of this house is that it came with 2 primary bathrooms. So this is mine. It's definitely like very feminine, because I feel like oftentimes when you find a master bathroom, it's kind of like a midway point. But in our house, because we had 2, we could do one super feminine and the other masculine, which was really fun. So this is kind of a cool space. This is blue Celeste marble, and it's from Nemo Tile. My friend Matt Carlin owns it, and he had these left over from a project, so he gave them to me. I love the blue marble. I love the wainscoting made out of the marble. This is also from Nemo, a water jet. And then I always struggle with tray ceilings because I feel like they don't look super traditional. And not that this house is super traditional, I just feel like they can sometimes take on a weird look. So I was trying to figure out a way to decorate them to hide it. And I feel like we did a good job with that in here. We have Venetian plaster on the ceiling. We have the quatrefoils. And then we also have like a cool design where we have the same tile design up here on the ceiling as we have on the floor. So it kind of like a Michelangelo effect, it mirrors it. The lighting fixtures are from Neiman Weeks. And again, they'll make the size to fit whatever you need and the finish. And I just think like it's a super like elegant bathroom. It's fun to get ready in here. And also we wanted to preserve in here the light. So designer draperies of Boston again. We decided to do this little cafe curtain with the Roman up here so that it was private, but the light still filtered in because this bathroom has a lot of light and I wanted to keep that. These were just little stools that I thought were cute because, to be honest, the people that mainly took the baths when we bought this house was the kids. So I would be like this. Washing everybody. So that was for me. And I also thought it was a fun way to bring in the yellow because I feel like the yellow with the periwinkle goes so nicely. And it's such a nice pop of color. Also, if you come over here, I'll show you. The room is big enough that we actually have like a little settee in here too. And the shower, also super fun. It has lattice. This was done by the fabricator. They cut the tile to make it like this lattice look of Thassos and Blue Celeste. And you can see by all of my products, I'm definitely sharing this bathroom. Also, I think like an important design tip is I feel like in a primary bathroom, if you have the space, it's really important to hide this guy that no one wants to see, but we all need. So like having this person, this being hidden in the water closet is kind of nice. It makes the bathroom look so much prettier. And we had the fortune of getting the ceiling height, but again, my same conundrum with the tray ceiling, because I feel like oftentimes it just doesn't vibe with the design and it just looks, I don't know, like it just looks off-putting to me. So trimming it out with all the molding and coloring it the same color as the walls, I felt like made it feel a little bit more sophisticated for me. On this particular side, what we did was we did a decorative ceiling and we still put trim all over it and we painted part of it the same color as the walls, but then we did this white ceiling on top with the little gold motifs. This bedroom is it doesn't get a lot of light over here, so it's perfect for sleeping. This area is probably one of my favorites in the whole house. Just because I love how it always looks and everything. This is a chinoiserie cabinet by Alfonso Marina. This is by Baker with a Clarence House velvet on it. And it's sitting atop a Kyle Bunting carpet, which I really love how it pulls out the burnt orange and all the different moody blues that are in there. And it's like its own little space. And yes, I do sit on this a lot. I just wanted to make it look really French, but fun and like, I think more on the fancy side and applying the molding and having it painted with the gold, having the 4-poster bed from Alfonso Marina with the black with the gold, and then taking it and having a French mantle from Chesney's put on the electric fireplace, well, the gas fireplace, sorry, the gas fireplace with the electric starter. I just felt like I liked it so much. I just felt like it was fun to be in here. This is a local artist. Her name is Eliza Geddes, and she is represented by the J. Mackey Gallery, and they have a location in Locust Valley and East Hampton. And I just thought it was super fun, and it was like totally going with the vibe that I was looking for. Fit perfectly in the space. This is another beautiful painting from the Art Connection studio in Connecticut. Again, half the proceeds go to them and half go back to the studio so that they can buy the things. But this is made by a person with a disability. I love it. It just makes me so happy when I come in my room. This, again, Kyle Bunting carpet. So fun. This is just a little ante room because it's before you get into the main closet and before his bathroom. And this is the other bathroom. So this was the intention behind here was to make it sort of industrial, very masculine, because we had both bathrooms to choose from to make different designs. This is a light fixture from Visual Comfort, Ralph Lauren. What I wanted to do in here was have the shower be really fun, and I loved having the grates put on the shower because I felt like that looked really fun and industrial. His is a steam shower. He likes to steam. And I just feel like this goes really well with the industrial vibe. This is zinc wrapped furniture collection from Restoration Hardware with the 2 cabinets and then this and the honed black absolute top. I just think it's really masculine. The tile on the floor is a 12 by 12 honed Carrara, which is actually really affordable. It is a marble, but it's a really great budget saver. It definitely is less expensive and it is marble, so that makes it really nice. This is called Bardiglio, and what Bardiglio is actually the veining in this marble here. So it's Bardiglio, again, honed in the gray, because I like the whole idea of the grays in here. This is a fun stainless steel tile from Ann Sachs that I thought was cute. It's like a little bath mat. And we also have the shutters that we have in Finn's room in here, a little bit more masculine. A bathtub for the kids, which recently we talked about making this a plunge tub. I'm not really sure how to do that, but I have to research converting this into a cold plunge. What I love most about our home, I would say, is my backyard. I feel like it's a beautiful space. It covers so many areas for all different age groups. We have a playground for when my kids were little. They're probably aging out of it. We have a trampoline, which everyone still uses. We have a pool, and we built a pool house with an outdoor kitchen that we use a lot. And we really like it. During COVID, it was amazing because it was a separate space to be, not in the main house. We could shower out there, watch television, relax. It was awesome. And I feel like still when I'm in my backyard, I love it so much. And I think it's a really, really cool part of the house. So now I'm gonna take you outside. So typically this is outfitted with 2 large rectangular tables and chairs, because this is where we hang out. If we have an event, we tent it, which is really cool just to protect everybody from the elements. I really love the gas lanterns. I feel like that reminds me of Brooklyn Heights, and we wanted to incorporate that here in Manhasset. And then we can take a walk over to where the pool house is. So this was something I built that was not here. We had a pool that was here that was oval shaped, and when we turned it on for the first time, it leaked into the street. So the pool needed to be redone. So we took a break from construction, and we did it about 1.5 years after we finished the house. So come on into the pool house. So this is the pool house. It's fun because you can watch everybody in the pool from in here. This is an accordion door that opens and goes all the way back, so you have a complete open with a Q deck, which just means that it's flush to walk from inside to outside. Inside the pool house, we have all indoor-outdoor furniture. So this is a custom sectional by George Smith, made to be outside, but it looks like indoor furniture. It has a Holly Hunt fabric on it. That's indoor-outdoor also. But the idea is that this can drain all the water. If you had it outside, would just drain through it. So this is super fun. We had this custom made to fit the space. This is also a chair from George Smith with a Pierre Frey indoor-outdoor fabric on it. Again, you can sit on it, get it wet, whatever. This is where we keep games and stuff, maybe some alcohol when we're entertaining. And then we have the bathroom, and we did this custom barn door made out of walnut, which is closes over and it can be locked from the inside. And then here's our shower bathroom. It's just shiplap with fun Ann Sachs ceramic tile and a fun Restoration Hardware vanity, Restoration Hardware lighting and mirror. We wanted to take reclaimed beams from barns, so we purchased those and then laid them out as a coffer. So these are all old reclaimed barn wood. Then we had the painter, who's awesome, Kristen Taylor Painting. She faux painted all of the flanges for the hi-hats so they match in with the wood. So pretty. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then I just thought this was super fun too, because it's a little bit more fancy, but it's like kind of fun to have that juxtaposition of the rock crystal. This is a Thomas O'Brien chandelier for visual comfort. And then we have fireplace. We have a fireplace outside and inside that share the chimney. So we have, obviously it's winter still, but we have an outdoor fireplace that we light also in the summer. It's super fun out into the fall. We have this covered pergola area that lights up, has music in it. We have seating here. And then we have bar stools that sit alongside the bar where we have refrigeration, ice maker, big, huge barbecue, and we hang out here a lot. And it's like a great entertainment space, and we have a television. I feel like home is your memory maker. So I feel like it's a place where people come to live their lives, enjoy family, and make special memories about their life, where they can reflect and look back on and feel so excited about a particular room. It conjures times of a holiday or having a certain event at your home. And I think, to me, I feel like it's where people make their memories. And I felt like COVID time really solidified that when we were all stuck there. And it should make you happy because you spend so much time here. And that's where we come in.
Thanks for watching. Go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content and shopping guides.